Welcome back to Happy Seniors Life, where East meets West to guide you toward living not just longer, but better, healthier, and more peacefully after 60. I'm Dr. Thomas, a practicing internist for over 30 years here in the U.S. And today I want to start with a question that may seem small until it isn't. Have you ever gone to bed with an empty stomach, thinking it might help you lose a few pounds, only to wake up groggy, forgetful, or anxious the next morning? You're not alone, and you're not imagining it either. There's something that happens between dinner and sleep that most people over 60 never pay attention to. But it's during that window, those last quiet hours of the day, that the brain either begins to heal or slowly starts to fade. Today, I'm honored to be joined by one of the world's most respected voices in geriatric medicine, Japan's longest-serving physician, Dr. Shigeki Hinohara. He lived well past 100 years of age, practiced medicine for over 7 decades, and inspired millions with his gentle, powerful philosophy of healing. He believed that how you end your day determines how your brain functions tomorrow, and he had the science and the stories to prove it. If you've ever felt your memory slipping, or just don't feel as sharp as you used to, today's conversation may just give you a new nightly ritual that could change everything. If this is something you've experienced, type the number 1 in the comments. If not yet, but you care about protecting your mind, type 0. We'd love to hear from you. And if this message touches you, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell. We've got so much more to explore together. Let me take you back to something I often hear in my clinic. A retired veteran in his early 70s, strong hands, still walk every morning, but one day he sat down and said, "Doc, I keep forgetting where I put my glasses. I open the fridge and forget what I came for." Is this how it starts? He was afraid it was dementia, but what he was really experiencing was something far more common and often reversible. And here's the truth. Most people don't realize the brain doesn't simply shut down while we sleep. It gets busy. While your body rests, your brain is doing night shift, sorting through memories, clearing waste proteins, repairing damaged connections, regulating mood chemicals. This is how you wake up feeling sharp or not. But here's the catch. That healing process needs fuel. It needs safety signals. It needs rhythm. And if you go to bed without sending those signals, if you eat too early, or skip food entirely, if your night ends with cold silence instead of calm ritual, your brain stays on alert. It protects instead of restoring. It holds on instead of letting go. Now, I know in Western culture, while we're often told not to eat at night, cut calories, stop eating after 6 p.m. Oh, we hear it everywhere. But for older adults, this can backfire. After 60, the body shifts. Metabolism slows, hormones decline, and your brain, especially the memory centers, become more sensitive to drops in blood sugar. Not less. A 2022 study from the University of California found that older adults who went to bed with low glucose levels had more fragmented sleep, lower memory performance, and higher next-day fatigue. And we're not talking about diabetes, just low fuel. Now let me ask you, have you ever skipped dinner only to find yourself waking up at 2 a.m., unable to fall back asleep, or woken up foggy, even after a full 8 hours? If that sounds familiar, comment the word foggy below, because you're not alone and there is something we can do about it. Now let me take you inside a real case that shook me. A patient of mine, 68 years old, a retired librarian. She was healthy, on no medication, ate clean, and walked daily. But she came to me with a strange complaint. She said, "I sleep 8 hours, but I wake up tired. My dreams are chaotic. And sometimes I wake up panicked, like something's chasing me. We ran all the labs. Nothing serious showed up. Until I asked her, 'What do you eat after 6 p.m.?' She smiled and said, 'Oh, nothing. I fast. They say it's good for weight. Now here's what's missing in that picture.' Her body was fasting, but her brain was starving. And the brain doesn't respond with peace. It responds with panic." Dr. Hinohara once wrote in one of his journals, "When the brain is denied rhythm, warmth, and safety, it stays half awake, half defensive. No healing takes place in defense." And that's exactly what we saw. We were looking at a mind stuck in survival mode all night long. There's a name for that state. It's called nocturnal hypervigilance. Your brain stays on guard, like it's waiting for danger. Your heart rate rises slightly. Your stress hormones, especially cortisol, go up when they should be going down. And here's the problem. This happens quietly now. It doesn't scream like chest pain or fever. It whispers through foggy mornings, poor focus, emotional reactivity, even faster cognitive decline. A 2023 study from the Mayo Clinic confirmed this older adults with elevated nighttime cortisol had 37% higher risk of short-term memory loss. But you won't hear about that on your pill bottle. No warning label says caution skipping dinner may dull your mind. So the question is, how many nights have you gone to sleep thinking you're being healthy, when in fact, you were quietly exhausting the organ you depend on the most, if you've ever felt your brain stuck in emergency mode? Type the word alert in the comments. Because the first step to healing is realizing where we're hurting. So now the question becomes, what can we do to send the right message to the brain before bed? The answer, in both Eastern and Western medicine, begins with one principal preparation. The brain, just like the heart or the lungs, needs rhythm, not just rest, but a pattern, a sense of safety, nourishment, and release before it enters sleep mode. And this rhythm can be created gently. It doesn't need to be complicated. First, light nourishment. After 60, your body enters a state called catabolism more quickly. That means you break down tissue faster if there's no incoming fuel. And unfortunately, the brain is one of the first organs to feel that deficit. A small warm food, something rich in amino acids, easy to digest, low in sugar. And calming is not just a snack, it's a signal to the nervous system. It says, you are not in danger. You are safe to rest. Begin repair. In Japan, Dr. Hinohara often emphasized the power of evening warmth. Not only physical warmth from food, but also emotional warmth from ritual. He taught that a simple act like sipping a warm miso broth or inhaling slowly activates the brain's parasympathetic system. That's the system responsible for rebuilding, restoring, and remembering. Second, gentle movement. Not exercise, not strain. Just 3 to 5 minutes of slow, mindful motion, shoulder rolls, neck stretches, a forward bend. Why? Because movement increases circulation. And better blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients delivered directly to the brain. It's like opening the gates before the night shift begins. Third, breath and rhythm. Breathing is one of the fastest ways to calm your nervous system. When your exhale is longer than your inhale, the brain receives a clear message. The threat is over. It can now shift from fight or flight to heal and repair. Even 5 deep belly breaths done slowly, in silence, can drop cortisol and heart rate in under 3 minutes. And finally, gratitude and quiet reflection. Modern science confirms what ancient traditions have long taught. Writing down 3 things you're thankful for, even small ones. Right before bed can shift the brain's emotional tone, lower nighttime inflammation, and improve sleep architecture. A study published in Applied Psychology, Health and Well-Being found that people who practiced gratitude at bedtime fell asleep faster, slept deeper, and woke up more refreshed. Not because of magic, but because the brain was told all is well. You may let go now. So the goal is simple. Don't just fall asleep. Lead your brain into it with a calm routine that says, you're safe, you're fed, you're free to heal. Now let me ask you, which of these 4 do you think your nighttime needs most right now? A warm bite, gentle movement, slower breath, or a quiet moment of thanks? Type it below. Your answer might inspire someone else to begin their healing tonight. As we bring this conversation to a close, I want to leave you with a simple truth. Your brain is not breaking down because of age. It's slowing down because it hasn't been invited to rest fully, gently, and wisely. So many of us fear memory loss, like it's a storm we can't outrun. But the truth is, memory isn't something that vanishes overnight. It's something that fades quietly when neglected. And the good news, what fades from neglect can often be revived with care. A warm bite, a breath that tells the nervous system, you're safe. A moment of stillness that says, you did enough today. These are not luxuries. They are medicine. Dr. Hinohara often reminds us that longevity is not about stretching years, and it's about stretching meaning into the quietest moment. So tonight, I invite you to reclaim your rest, to restore not just your sleep, but your spirit. Start with just one thing. You don't have to be perfect. Just be present. And if this message resonates with you, please leave a comment below with the words, I choose to rest with intention. Your story might give someone else the courage to slow down too. And if this video gave you hope that your mind, your memory, your peace can be protected even after 60, subscribe to our channel and share it with someone you love. Because aging doesn't mean fading. It can mean awakening. So I leave you with this question. If there's one small thing you can do tonight for your brain, for your body, for your peace, what would it be? Now that we've explored the emotional and behavioral tools to restore your sleep, let's go one layer deeper into the science. Because sleep, especially after the age of 60, is not just rest. It is repair. And without it, the very foundation of our health begins to erode silently. Let's start with the most overlooked fact. After 60, sleep architecture changes. What does that mean? It means your body spends less time in deep, slow-wave sleep, the kind where tissue repair, hormone release, and memory consolidation happen. Instead, you spend more time in lighter sleep phases, which are more easily disrupted by noise, temperature, or even a racing mind. So what used to be enough sleep in your 40s, 7 or 8 hours, may no longer be enough if it's not quality sleep. And here's what's even more critical. As you age, melatonin production declines. Melatonin is the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. But by the time you reach your mid-60s, natural melatonin levels may be half what they were in your 20s. Now, combine that with elevated cortisol, the stress hormone, which tends to remain higher at night in older adults, especially if they're lonely, anxious, or skipping meals. What do you get? A body that wants to sleep and a brain that refuses to let go. That mismatch is what keeps so many seniors wide awake at 3 a.m. But this isn't just frustrating, it's dangerous. Poor sleep increases the risk of memory loss, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, even stroke. According to the CDC, nearly 1/3 of older Americans report poor sleep quality at least 3 nights a week. And those who sleep less than 6 hours per night have a 27% higher risk of cognitive decline over the next decade, based on a 2021 study published in JAMA Neurology. Now, what can we do about it? First, we must respect the circadian rhythm, your internal clock. This clock is set by 3 major signals: light, especially natural morning light; food intake, particularly the timing of your last meal; movement, gentle activity early in the day. When these 3 are aligned, your sleep improves. When they're disrupted, your brain stays confused, alert, defensive. Dr. Hinohara believed in something simple yet powerful. Each night is a ceremony. If you treat it like that, the brain responds with trust. So, how do we honor that ceremony? By being intentional with evening cues. Lower your lights after sunset. Avoid screens at least 30 minutes before bed. Eat your last small warm meal no later than 1 hour before lying down. And do not stimulate the nervous system with loud noise, negative news, or caffeinated beverages. Instead, focus on rituals that mimic nature's quiet warmth, stillness, soft sound, and gentle breath. And here's something not often talked about in the West: temperature. Your core body temperature must drop slightly to fall into deep sleep. So taking a warm bath 60 to 90 minutes before bed can actually help. Why? Because after the bath, your body naturally cools, signaling the brain that it's safe to rest. Next, let's talk about blood sugar stability. When your blood sugar crashes at night, especially from skipping meals or eating high sugar foods before bed, your adrenal glands release stress hormones to rescue you. That's why so many older adults wake up at 1 or 2 a.m. feeling startled. That's not insomnia. That's your body sounding the alarm. A small, balanced evening snack with protein and healthy fat like a soft egg or tofu and broth can prevent this and keep blood sugar steady through the night. Last but not least, sleep position and breathing. Shallow chest breathing activates stress. Deep belly breathing with the exhale longer than the inhale activates the parasympathetic system. This isn't meditation, it's biology. Just 5 minutes of deep breathing before bed can reduce your heart rate, lower cortisol, and cue the brain to enter deep sleep cycles. And if you sleep on your left side with a small pillow between your knees, studies show improved circulation, reduced acid reflux, and better lymphatic drainage, all supporting a clearer, sharper mind in the morning. So let's reframe sleep. It's not just the absence of wakefulness, it's not shutting down. It's your body's most advanced operating system running nightly updates. And like any system, it only works when the conditions are right. Now that we've understood how powerful sleep can be after 60, let me gently share something just as important: the silent habits that quietly destroy it. These aren't obvious like loud noises or flashing lights. They're subtle, familiar, and most of the time we don't even realize they're harming us. But over time, they chip away at the brain's ability to rest, recover, and remember. Let's walk through 5 of them, calmly, respectfully, so you can recognize them and begin letting go. Habit 1: drinking cold water or soda too close to bedtime. You may think a cold drink helps cool the body, but in reality, it can shock your digestive system and disrupt your internal cooling cycle. After 60, digestion slows, and cold beverages cause blood vessels in the stomach to constrict, leading to delayed digestion and potential discomfort or bloating at night. What your brain needs instead is a warm signal, something like lukewarm water, barley tea, or golden milk that gently tells your body, we're winding down. Habit 2, watching TV or scrolling on your phone in bed. Blue light from screens blocks melatonin production even if you feel sleepy. This light tells your brain it's still daytime. So you might lie down at 10 p.m., but your brain doesn't shift into sleep mode until midnight. According to Harvard Medical School, even 30 minutes of screen time before bed can delay melatonin release by up to 90 minutes. That's not just poor sleep, it's a lost opportunity to heal. Habit 3, eating sugary or processed snacks late in the evening. Many seniors believe a cookie or a small dessert helps settle the night. But refined sugar causes a spike and then a crash in blood sugar. And when that crash happens at 2 a.m., your adrenal glands go into rescue mode, releasing cortisol and waking you up. That's not insomnia, that's a biochemical roller coaster. Replace it with a warm, protein-rich option like soft-boiled egg or miso broth to keep glucose levels steady and support memory consolidation. Habit 4, going to bed with unresolved stress or stimulation. Emotional tension, even unspoken, activates the brain's limbic system. That's the center responsible for survival, fear, and fight or flight. If you fall asleep right after reading upsetting news or replaying a hurtful conversation, your body may sleep, but your mind doesn't rest. Dr. Hinohara often reminded us, calm is not the absence of thought. It is the choice to slow the rhythm of the day before surrendering to sleep. Simple actions like slow breathing, writing in a journal, or quietly naming what you are grateful for can shift your state completely. Habit 5, keeping irregular sleep and meal times. Your body loves rhythm, but many retirees lose structure after leaving work. They eat dinner at 6 p.m. one day, 8:30 the next, sleep at 10 p.m. today, midnight tomorrow, and that inconsistency confuses the brain's circadian clock, and it no longer knows when to release melatonin or when to wind down. Research from Stanford University shows that people with regular meal and sleep schedules report 22% deeper sleep than those with erratic patterns. In other words, it's not just what you eat or how long you sleep, it's when. So if you've noticed your sleep slipping, memory dulling, or mornings feeling heavier, take a loving look at your evening habits and ask, which of these small mistakes am I making without realizing it? No guilt, no shame, just awareness and a gentle choice to do better. Starting tonight. Because a healthy life after 60 doesn't come from big changes. It begins with quiet, consistent care. And sleep is where that care begins. So far, we've looked at why the brain suffers in silence after 60, and how certain evening rituals can turn sleep into deep restoration. Now it's time to turn insight into action, because knowledge without a plan is like a lamp without oil. So here it is, a 7-night gentle reset plan. Not a strict program, not a diet, just a rhythm, a soft invitation for your brain to trust sleep again. Let's walk through it together. Night 1, warm the system. Tonight, skip the cold drinks. Instead, sip a warm cup of barley tea or miso broth about 45 minutes before bed. Let this be the message: we are slowing down. Sit in silence while sipping. Let your breath slow naturally. You don't need to force it. Just notice. That's enough. Night 2, set the rhythm. Decide on one consistent bedtime. 10 p.m. is ideal for most older adults. Start winding down at least 1 hour earlier. Dim lights, lower the volume, turn off the news. Let your body know this is your new rhythm. Trust it. Even if sleep doesn't come easily, don't break the cycle. The clock is part of the cure. Night 3, move with grace.
Before you eat your small bedtime snack, move. 3 minutes is enough. Try shoulder rolls, neck circles, and gentle forward bends. Follow that with 5 slow belly breaths, exhaling longer than you inhale. This movement opens circulation. The breath settles the nervous system. Together, they unlock sleep from within. Night 4. Nourish the brain, this time. Focus on the quality of food, a soft boiled egg, steamed greens, or a small bowl of miso tofu soup. No sugar. No processed snacks. Only food that signals safety, stability, and warmth.
Night 5. Protect the light. Turn off screens 1 hour before bed. Yes, even the phone, even the iPad, even that favorite show. Instead, read something soft, a poem, a passage from a gentle book, even a short letter from someone you love. Let the light be real. Let your eyes remember the night is made for healing, not for watching. Night 6. Speak gratitude. Before closing your eyes, say out loud or in writing 3 things you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be profound. I saw the sun. My neighbor waved. My soup was warm. The brain hears those words, and in hearing, it softens. Science confirms gratitude at night reduces inflammation, improves memory, and deepens sleep. Night 7. Seal the habit, and this is not the end and it's a beginning. Tonight, combine everything: warm drink, gentle movement, small, nourishing meal, slow breath, no screen, quiet gratitude. Then say one small sentence to yourself: I rest with peace. My brain knows the way. Let that be your final message. And whether sleep comes fast or slow, trust that healing has already begun. Now let me ask you, which night speaks to your soul the most? Which habit will you begin tonight? Comment with the word reset if you're ready to gently care for your mind again, not with pressure, but with peace. And if this ritual helps you come back next week, we'll walk through what happens when the brain begins to heal, and how memory, mood, and even energy start to rise again. Because aging is not the end of growth. It's the beginning of deeper wisdom. As we near the end of this journey together, I want to offer you something simple but lasting, something you can print, remember, and return to on nights when sleep feels far away or when your mind feels too full to rest. These are the 10 evening principles I've seen change lives, especially after 60. They don't require money or perfect health or some ideal home. Just intention. Just a willingness to treat your brain with kindness. Let's walk through them again, not just as information, but as an act of care. 1. Always end the day with warmth. This could be a warm drink, a warm thought, or warm silence. Warmth tells the nervous system, you're safe now. 2. Eat something small, protein-rich, and soothing. A soft-boiled egg, a bowl of warm soup, something simple but powerful. This is fuel, not just food. It tells the brain you are supported through the night. 3. Avoid sugar and processed foods after sunset. They confuse the system. What feels like comfort becomes chaos at 2 a.m. Let your food speak clearly to your healing. 4. Move gently before sleep. 5 minutes. That's all. Stretch, rotate, bend. Not to burn calories, but to move the energy out of your muscles and into calm. 5. Breathe with intention. A slow exhale is a signal I am no longer in the rush. I am safe to slow down. 5 deep belly breaths. That's all it takes. 6. Honor the dark. Dim the lights. Turn off the screens. Let your body see that night has arrived. Modern life has confused the sunset. You must bring it back. 7. Set a bedtime and protect it like medicine. Not just when you sleep, but the message you send to your brain, I will not push through tonight. I will surrender. 8. Say thank you for something. Even if your body hurts today, even if your mood wasn't perfect, gratitude creates a healing hormone shift that no pill can replace. 9. Use sound and silence wisely. Choose calming music, nature sounds, or soft quiet. Noise isn't just volume, it's rhythm. What you hear shapes what you become in sleep.
10. Speak to your brain kindly before bed. The last thought matters. Say something like tonight, I rest, I let go. My brain is healing. That sentence is not magic, but it changes your biology. Now, maybe you're thinking, I can't do all 10 every night. You don't have to. This isn't a checklist to conquer. It's a rhythm to return to. One night, it may be a warm drink. Another night, a single slow breath. Some nights, just whispering, thank you. And that's enough. Because the brain doesn't need perfection. It needs consistency, gentleness, and reminders that it is safe to repair. So let me ask you now, which of these 10 principles will you begin with tonight? Not next week, not next year. Tonight. Comment below with the number that speaks to you. And if you're willing, write it down on a piece of paper and leave it by your bed. Let it become your evening promise, not to the world, not even to your family, but to your own healing. Because after 60, your best years are not behind you. They're still being built quietly every night you choose to rest.